Hello, welcome to Anne Craft All the Things. This is my channel where I talk about all the things that I've been crafting. It is August the 21st, Sunday, August 21st. It is about 12:30 in the afternoon. It is a gray and overcast day here in South Carolina as I'm recording this, so the lighting is a little interesting. I've got Gage out there with my husband, and he's a mama's boy, so if you hear any meowing, that's where it's coming from. It has been a month, almost 4 weeks since I recorded. Since then, our school has started back. We went back a week before kids came back, and we just concluded the first full week of students. It's been a little bit crazy, hence the no recording. So yeah, I guess we'll just jump right in to talk about what I've got to talk today. I've got a little bit of knitting, not much, some sewing, and a lot of cross stitch. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, I want to show you a fully finished object. So at the very, very beginning, so this is episode 5, and at episode 1, I had a whip that was an older whip from my second go round of cross stitching from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and it was the Halloween Town mystery stitch along. And I had since finished it, since I started the podcast. Well, now I have fully finished it, and here it is. I am so excited. So I found this frame at Hobby Lobby for $3.49. Can you even see that? I don't know if you could see that. But anyway, it's $3.49. I think it had something painted on here like family or something. But I had some gray fabric that I just covered the back with, and then I put some magnets and some washers and have mounted it like that it might be crooked now, I can't tell, but I've mounted it like that in this frame, and I'm very happy with how it came out. So yeah, very fun. It's not the greatest job of finishing. I'm not a professional, but it works for me, and it's done, and I can't wait to display this in a few more weeks when it's October. So yay. I'm hoping to do some more pieces that are in this general shape that are seasonal that I can switch out, which is why I did the magnet and washer kind of finish on this. But that is Halloween Town. Started in 2014, finished in 2022, and fully finished just a little while later. I have some other FOs, not any fully finished, but some FOs. I've got my March Waxing Moon designs, and I started this on July 22nd and finished it on July 31st. So I think this was not done when I recorded last. Yeah, no. So yeah, it's a 28 count even weave. This one is March. And I have also started and finished April of Waxing Moon designs. So that bunny holding his umbrella for April showers is all done. And those again are for my mom. And then I also have the other set that I'm doing for my aunt, the hands-on design set. I have finished April. So there is April. So I've gotten some of those done. They're not all done, but you know, we're working on it. And I have decided that if I don't finish all 12 months by Christmas, which is when they're going to get these gifts, that's okay. I can continue to finish them, but they can start in January and they'll have through however many I get done, and I'll have a few months to finish those, so they'll have them for display during the month that they are. I also have another start and finish for my Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Snow Globe Stitch Along that is coming out in 4 parts, and the first part came out on August 12th. I think when I recorded last time I had said August 1st, but I was wrong. So August 12th, the first snow globe came out, and it is, I think, called Rudolph. Oh, I don't even know. I have the pattern over there. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen. But I received the pattern, started, and finished it. And I also have another finish that's related to this package that's related to this project. My friend Kristen and Alexis and I are stitching this together, and I made all 3 of us matching project bags for this project. So I want to show that to you. I finished all 3 of those. This is the back fabric. It's by Riley Blake, and it has, oh, the glare. It has a vinyl front, and there's a kind of a close-up. It's like cross-stitch fabric on the inside. And then I put a D-ring on the inside that you can clip your floss ring to. And then I also made a needle book / thread bed, thread bed to go along with it. So this is just white felt with a red felt heart. So that matches. And that's kind of a closer up shot of the fabric. So you can see that cross stitch looking design. And here is I just finished this. Like, I was going to record earlier in the morning, but it was so gray and overcast, I thought that I would wait until and see if the sun came out, and it didn't, but I wanted to go ahead and start. But I just finished this right before I set myself up. So I have finished my first snow globe, and I was going to get a piece of paper to put behind that, and I failed miserably. There he is. I think it's cute. It's interesting stitching on perforated paper. Never done that before. But the pattern is really well written. There are tips and tricks in the pattern for stitching on perforated paper. And one of the tips is, instead of sticking the needle when you're coming from the underside, instead of sticking the needle tip first, stick it eye first, and then the bulk of the thread and the needle will allow it to not fall out when you're transferring from under to over. Because I stitch in hand mostly, and so normally I bend my fabric and stitch in hand, and you can't do that with perforated paper. So I thought that tip was really great, and I used that a lot. A little bit of black back stitching. I did not back stitch around Santa's eye. I did around the reindeer. I think it makes it look way too big. I don't know. So I left back stitch off of Santa because I just think it looks better. I don't know if y'all have an opinion. Let me know. But that one's done. And then the next clue, the next snow globe, comes out at some point in September. And here's my zipper pull that I made to go with my zipper, and all three of us have different zipper colors and a different pull, but we all have, the rest is all the same. And I put a handle on it because I just thought I'd like that, and I do. So those are all of my cross stitch finishes. I do have a finished knitting project, and it is socks. Are we shocked? No. But I started and finished, I think I started these after I recorded. I'm honestly not sure. These have taken me forever. Gage likes to chew Chalgoo knitting needle cords, cables, much to my chagrin, and he likes to pull on the yarn as I'm knitting. So the knitting time has cut down just a little bit. That's okay, he'll get over it. But anyway, I started these Scrappy Socks and finished them. So this is all my changing colors. So I had a kind of a pinkish, and then a coral, and then a yellow, green, aqua, blue, purple, gray, and then a rainbow, and then a teal toe. So yeah, this is what I did. I just I did them exactly the same on both sides, and I finished these up yesterday. So happy that they're done and they turned out well. This is my 13th pair for summer sock camp, which ends the end of this month. So there's only 10 more days left in summer sock camp. I guess if we're going with other finishes, I have another sewing finish. I made another project bag for a stitch along that's going to be coming up, and I have decided that I'm going to participate in the Autumn Lane Stitchery Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along, and so I have ordered that pattern and the fabric and the beads that will go with it, and then I've gotten all the floss together, and I thought it needed a project bag. So this, oh, the glare, this is the inside fabric and the back fabric, and it is a vinyl front, obviously, zipper with a handle, and I don't have a fun zipper pull on this one yet. It's just the dark purple zipper. But this fabric was actually a scrub top. So in the last month that I have not been recording, one of my goals for this summer was to clean out my closet because it was a little bit embarrassing. And so the week before we went back to school, I was like, haven't done my goal that I had for myself this summer. Guess I better do that. So I had a whole bunch of old scrubs that were either too tatty to continue to wear, didn't fit anymore, or I didn't like to wear. So I gathered all those up. This was one of them, and the shirt just, I've wore it a few times, but I just never, like, the cut of it was a little bit different. I felt like it made me look pregnant because it had like an empire waist. Anyway, didn't love it, but I thought the fabric was cool, and I was like, oh, this would make a really cool project bag. So that's what I did. And to go along with this project bag, I made a mess, but oh, it's a mess. I made a project minder to go with it, and I just kind of sort of hodgepodge this together. Trust me, I won't be coming out with a pattern for this because it's a little bit of a mess, but if you don't look too closely, it's kind of cool. So this is my project minder, and I went ahead and made a zipper front for this as well with vinyl. and it's the same scrub top fabric, and then it snaps shut, and it has a thread bed, and it has a D-ring that I can put my floss ring on, and then also a clasp that I could hook scissors to or anything else that I might feel the need for. And then this is like felted fleece for a thread bed. So it's janky, like real janky, but it's done and kind of cool, and I can keep it with my, because this stitch along is a year-long stitch along, so I figured it needed a cool project bag and project keeper to go with it. So it's kind of part of haul too, because I got all of this floss and the pattern and fabric, but the fabric's not here yet. So yeah, that's another sewing finished object. Then in the same thread of cleaning out my closet and the scrub tops that I didn't want to wear as scrub tops anymore. And for anybody that's new or doesn't know, I'm a nurse. So yeah, and I'm a school nurse currently. So anyway, I had a whole bunch of old scrub tops that were just past their prime, and they had a lot of memories in them. One top that I hadn't worn in forever, but I just couldn't bear to get rid of, was actually a scrub top from my one of my labor and delivery jobs. I think it was my second mother baby job, first labor and delivery job. And it just was a jacket that had a lot of memories in it, and I didn't want to just throw it away, and it was not good enough to be donated. And I had quite a few like that I had worn through the years at jobs in the hospital, and then since I've been a school nurse. And so I thought about a memory quilt, and off the Fat Quarter Shop, and I just searched for like Scrappy quilts, and I think that this one was for jelly rolls. So I finished the quilt top and bought some backing fabric. Here's the backing fabric. I just got it at Hobby Lobby. It's 108 inches wide, so it is just one single fabric. I do not have it like basted yet. I just made the quilt sandwich just to kind of see. And I'm just gonna give you a peek at the corner of the actual thing and then show you a picture that I took. So here is a corner, and this is the fabric I was talking about from my maternity days. And this one was one of my very favorite because it was green and it had flowers and dragonflies on it, and I just loved it. So anyway, I'll show you the picture now of what the quilt looks like. And I also will put on the screen the size that it is, because I didn't write that down either, because I'm just that good. So that's what it looks like out by the pool. And so now I just have to figure out what I'm gonna do to quilt it. I have quilted my own quilts before in the past at on my just home machine, just straight stitch quilting. So I will do some sort of that for this. I don't really know how to long arm or have access to a long arm person or a machine or anything like that to use. So I will just figure some straight stitching out and quilt that together. So that is my sewing finish. And let's get into cross stitch whips. That is all of my finished objects. So I have continued to work on, obviously, the monthly patterns. The one for my mom is by Waxing Moon Designs, and it's the monthly trios. And I am doing the hands-on design for the other one for my aunt, and it is their year celebrations, but it's the first set, not the second set that has come out that they're doing a stitch along for with Fat Quarter Shop. So I am working on the Waxing Moon Designs May monthly trio, and I started this on August 14th. And I just have a little bitty start. So I have the outline of the whole border done, and then I've stitched May and have the purple start of the fill-in. And this pattern has a birdhouse and a bird and a cat and some sunflowers and a fence. So yeah. I have, I'm going to finish the purple and then get going on the fun stuff. So that is on the same fabric that was coffee tea dyed by me. This is in a project bag that I made myself. First one I did. So yeah, I have the May hands-on design one kitted up. Yeah, but I have not started it. So that will happen soon, and I will get that done. And this one is in my Seasons of the Heart bag that I made with a cross stitch piece from my olden days. 1994 is when that was finished. Pre-marriage. I have had my wedding anniversary since I last podcasted, and I have been married 26 years. So yay that. Another project that I have been working on is my Little Quaker Christmas by Susan Ake from Aurifil. And I haven't done a lot on this, but I have added to it. So I will put a picture up of what it was last time that you saw this. And I'm just wrangling a needle here. Here it is today. So just a few little bits added to that. I honestly have been focusing on the monthly patterns, and then once the snow globe came out, I just kind of wanted to get that done. And this is living in a new project bag that I got from Ragtag Quilt on Etsy, and it has the Teresa Kogut, oh there we go, Teresa Kogut fabric on the inside, and then it's a green quilted back. Very well made. I like it a lot. So this is in that project bag. And then my last cross stitch pattern that I'm working on is a new start, and it is by, I got it off of Etsy, and it is by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. And it is her What the Cat Saw series, and I have the Siamese cat. Gee, I wonder why. Gage. Here's a cute picture. Looking out the window to the sea, and there's a boat with a kraken attacking it, and I am making this, make sure he's not looking for my husband. So this is a full coverage piece that the board, that it's 80 88 by 88 square. And so I started that, and it has like wallpaper around the window, and I started that and I wasn't feeling it. It just is like a pale gray, and that was the back side. So that's how, this is on 18 count white Aida, and that's the top and the side border of what the wallpaper is going to be. And I decided that I am not going to do the full wallpaper. I'm just going to do the window and then kind of do maybe tint stitch around the window just to give the impression of a room / wall. So I abandoned that on the bottom of the fabric, and then on the other side I started the window, and that was upside down. So this is the outline of the whole window, and then there's going to be a kitty cat sitting right here, and then a ship and the Kraken there. So not very far on that, but I did get started, and I have to kind of work on that when my husband's not paying attention so that he doesn't see. So that'll be a Christmas present. This just is one of my Amazon zipper bags. Okay. So really the only thing left to talk about is haul, and I've sort of showed it as I've gone along. The only other thing that I really bought, other than a few more clearance frames at Hobby Lobby and a clearance print, which I'll put a picture in here. This llama print was $2.99. And I love him, and I took him to work, and he's hanging up in my office at work. I've named him Keith. But the only other thing that I got, I purchased a digital subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And with the subscription that I purchased, you get access to all of the back issues, digital back issues. And so I have been having a lot of fun going through those and planning some future projects. I've printed some off that I am really excited about. A lot of them are by Barbara Anna Designs. I love her aesthetic. It's just, it speaks to me. They're just kind of fun and whimsical and cute. And so I have printed some of those off, and just some other little bits and bobs. So I've been having fun going through those and dreaming of future projects. Coming up for stitching and knitting, I have one, oh, I didn't go over my, it was hiding under my chair. I have a whip in knitting to show you. So the Scrappy Socks were my only socks that I had on the go when we started back to work. And the Scrappy Socks did not really lend themselves very well to meeting knitting. And so I pulled a ball of Lollipop yarns, self-striping yarn, a gumdrop out of my stash that had a coordinating mini. And this is the by Felicia colorway. I've had this for a really long time. I got it at a knitting retreat that Joan of Lollipop Yarns was at. So I started these. I cast them on the night before we started school and started the cuff so that I wouldn't have to do the cast on. And I finished the cuff and then had them ready for knitting. And I did all of this, including the heel flap and double gusset, in 2 days of meetings. So just this much, and that's the only 2 days that I've worked on this. And I would love to finish these in the next 10 days. These are knit on 1.5 US 1.5 2.5 millimeter needles, and I'm using 60 stitches because her base is a little bit plumper, and so I thought I could get away with 60 stitches and a little bit of a bigger needle than my normal US 1 2.25 on 64 stitches. So that is my only current active-ish knitting whip. But now that my Scrappy Socks are done, I'll focus on these. And if I get these done, that'll be 14 pairs for summer sock camp, and I'll be happy with that. Main thing with that is that I'm happy that I had all my Christmas knitting done. So for stitching and knitting for me, and I guess sewing, stitching upcoming is just continue to work on the months, little finishes that I have for my aunt and my mom. And then also September is my birthday month. And so I thought I would do a birthday start and finally start the sheep sampler for Sampler September, and a birthday start that I got that I showed you on my very first Flosstube. I don't have written down, it's the Histoires of des Moutons, and I think it's Jardin Privé, maybe is the designer. Can't remember. Anyway, it was a 3-part, and I'm gonna do it all on one piece of fabric. So you'll see that one once I start that one in September. The Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along starts on September 1st also. So I will be starting that, and that'll probably consume most of my stitching time. When the new snow globe comes out from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, I will work on that. And then I do have the llama and the Troubled Waters and the Christmas Quaker. I have a lot going on, but that'll be what I'll be working on. For knitting, I need to finish this pair of socks that I've got on the go, and then I also need to pull out a sweater that I am knitting for my husband's mother. She requested this sweater, and I started it late spring and didn't really have a full-on passion for it. It's a pieced sweater, so not my favorite, but I told her I would knit it for her, and the colder weather is going to be coming, so I need to get it finished. It's a cardigan. It's out of blue yarn. I will show that when I start working on it again. I have the back done, and I'm started on one of the fronts, I think is where I am in the pattern. So, and then sewing wise, the only thing I really have that I know of that I'll be sewing on is possibly the quilt, but that is not a high priority as far as having to get done by a certain time. I have other things that have actual not deadlines, but time frames where they need to be done. So that is the plan. School is going well. This past week was, like I said, the first week with students, and it felt 3 years long. It's a lot. I have 1,100 students in my elementary school this year. We have pre-K through 4th grade. I am the nurse of the school, and our district switched our charting system, and we have to put our care plans into this new charting system. So that kind of threw me back behind the 8 ball, because I had already completed all of the care plans for the returning students to put on, so they were already updated for this school year, so I wouldn't have to do them at the beginning of the year, but I'm having to do them anyway, so that's fun. But yeah, it's good to see the kiddos again and get hugs and smiles from them every day, and hopefully it'll be a great year without much pandemic. That would be ideal. So yeah, but my plan is to record again in 2 weekends, and that is Labor Day weekend, and we are off on that Monday. So for sure, one of those weekend days or that Monday, I will get a podcast recorded and give you an update. I again apologize for the delay in this one. I had not intended it being 4 weeks, and I feel like I talked a lot and fast this time, sort of out of practice. I don't think I introduced myself. So I'm EANRN on Instagram and Ravelry, and I also have an Instagram for this channel, and at Ann_craft all the things. And I would love it if you were to like and subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. I would love to grow the community here, and I would love to hear what you're working on, whether it be knitting, sewing, or stitching. And I hope that you guys have a great couple of weeks until I see you again. And just remember that when life gets a little bit crazy, remember to take time to craft all the things. Bye, guys.